Today, we are going to dive into one of the most mysterious and fascinating stories of Christian history, the Apostle John's survival of boiling oil. Have you ever wondered how someone could survive such a brutal execution? In this video, we will explore the little-known details and surprising facts behind this miracle. Prepare for a journey that will challenge your faith and your understanding of history. In the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire was a vast and powerful domain, extending from Greece to England. It was a period of great cultural and religious diversity, but also of political and social tensions. Christianity, still in its early stages, faced severe persecutions. The Romans saw Christians as a threat because they refused to worship the state gods and the emperor. These persecutions were frequent and brutal, with many Christians being arrested, tortured, and executed. John, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus, was no exception. He lived in a time of great danger, where faith could cost one's life. But it was precisely in this challenging context that John's story becomes even more impressive. How did he face these adversities, and what led to his submission to such a cruel execution? The story of John's attempted execution in boiling oil is one of the most dramatic and mysterious episodes in Christian history. According to tradition and some historical sources, John was captured and brought to Rome during the reign of Emperor Domitian, known for his fierce persecutions of Christians. The intention was to make an example of John, showing Christ's followers that faith would not protect them. On that day, a crowd gathered in the Roman Forum, eager to witness the execution. John was led to a cauldron of boiling oil, an extremely cruel and painful form of punishment. The oil bubbled and steamed, creating an atmosphere of terror and anticipation. Witnesses report that when John was thrown into the cauldron, something extraordinary happened. Instead of being consumed by the flames, he emerged unharmed, as if the oil had turned into fresh water. The crowd's reaction was one of astonishment and disbelief. Many were perplexed, and some even converted to Christianity on the spot. The Roman authorities, on the other hand, were stunned, and in some accounts, John was exiled to the island of Patmos, where he wrote the book of Revelation. This story not only reflects John's unshakable faith, but also highlights the resilience of early Christians in the face of the most cruel persecutions. The survival of John in boiling oil is not just a legend. There are eyewitness accounts and ancient writings that corroborate the event. One of the earliest accounts is by Tertullian, a Christian writer of the 3rd century, who described the event in his works. He mentions that John was thrown into boiling oil but emerged unharmed, causing great astonishment among those present. Another important source is the historian Eusebius of Caesarea, who lived in the 4th century and recorded the story in his ecclesiastical history. Eusebius emphasizes that the crowd present in the Roman Forum was so impressed by John's survival that many converted to Christianity. To better understand the veracity of these accounts, we spoke with experts. Historian Dr. John Fox, author of Book of Martyrs, explains that John's story is a notable example of resistance and faith among early Christians. He emphasizes that despite persecutions and tortures, John's faith remained unshaken, inspiring generations of hope and resistance in other Christians. The theologian Dr. Maria Silva, from the University of São Paulo, offers a theological perspective. She explains that John's survival can be seen as a sign of divine intervention, a testimony of the power of prayer and God's presence in the lives of believers. She emphasizes that this story not only strengthens John's faith, but also inspires modern believers to maintain their faith in the face of adversities. These academic perspectives help us understand the depth and impact of John's story, showing that it goes beyond a simple legend. It is a landmark of resistance, faith, and hope that continues to inspire people to this day. John's survival in boiling oil remains a mystery that has sparked numerous theories and explanations. From a scientific viewpoint, some experts suggest that John may have escaped due to natural factors, such as a temperature below the boiling point or a quick immersion that did not cause severe burns. Dr. Carlos Mendonça, a physicist, explains, it is possible that the oil's temperature was not high enough to cause immediate damage, or that John was quickly removed, minimizing contact with the hot oil. However, most theological explanations view the event as a miracle, a divine act that transcends natural laws. For many Christians, John's unshakable faith and divine intervention are the most plausible reasons for his survival. Father Pedro Almeida, a theologian, comments, John's story is a testimony of the power of faith and divine protection. For believers, this miracle reinforces the belief that God can intervene in moments of extreme adversity. Moreover, the psychology of faith is also a factor to consider. Deep belief and tranquility can have a significant impact on the human body, potentially reducing stress and the reaction to trauma. Dr. Ana Lucia, a psychologist, adds, faith can act as a protective mechanism, providing a sense of peace and trust that can influence the physical response to extreme situations. Regardless of the explanation, John's story continues to inspire and challenge, whether through a scientific or theological perspective. Whether a divine miracle or a combination of natural and psychological factors, John's survival in boiling oil is a testimony of human resilience and the power of faith. John's survival in boiling oil had a profound and lasting impact on both the early Christian community and subsequent generations. For early Christians, this miracle was a powerful sign of divine protection and the authenticity of faith. John's story spread quickly, strengthening the resilience and determination of the faithful in the face of persecutions. Dr. Marcos Ferreira, historian of religion, explains, John's survival became a symbol of hope and resistance. It inspired many to remain firm in faith, even in face of extreme adversities. Additionally, John's story significantly influenced Christian literature. His testimony is mentioned in various ancient works, including the writings of Tertullian and Eusebius of Caesarea, and continues to be referenced in modern theological texts. The narrative of his survival also inspired numerous works of art, from medieval paintings to contemporary representations. Visual art, in particular, played a crucial role in preserving and disseminating this story, making it accessible to a broader audience. Christian devotion was also deeply affected by John's story. Many sanctuaries and churches were dedicated to him, and his memory is celebrated in various liturgical traditions. John's figure as a living testimony of faith and resistance continues to be a source of inspiration for Christians worldwide. Father Ricardo Santos emphasizes, John's story is more than a historical account. It is a powerful narrative of faith and resilience. It reminds us that faith can give us the strength to face the challenges most difficult. In summary, John's survival in boiling oil transcended time, influencing Christian literature, art, and devotion. Their testimony continues to be a powerful narrative of faith, resilience, and divine protection, inspiring generations of believers to keep their faith intact, even in adverse circumstances. We have reached the end of this fascinating journey into the Apostle John's survival of boiling oil. John lived during a period of great persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire, facing a brutal execution that, according to tradition, he miraculously survived. We have seen that this story is corroborated by eyewitness accounts and ancient writings, and explored possible scientific and theological explanations for this extraordinary event. In addition, we have discussed the profound impact that John's survival had on the early Christian community and for generations to come, influencing Christian literature, art, and devotion. John's story is more than a historical account. It is a powerful testament to faith and human resilience. It reminds us that, even in the face of the most extreme adversities, faith can be an inexhaustible source of strength and hope. Encourage you to reflect on the meaning of this story in your own life. How can faith and resilience help us face the challenges we face? If you are fascinated by the life and legacy of the Apostle John, we invite you to explore more about him. There are many resources available, from books and documentaries to visits to historical sites related to his life. His story continues to inspire and challenge, and we hope that you find in it a source of inspiration and reflection. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.